Hampden at the moment is quiet, but come 3 o'clock Sunday, that place will be red and white. Let's roll the titles. Aberdeen face Rangers for the right to face Celtic in the Viaplay Scottish League Cup final. Today is about showing absolutely no fear and a willingness to go toe-to-toe with Rangers. Kick-off at Hampden Park is at 3 p.m. These are the scenes from back in 2018 when a Lewis Ferguson header gave Aberdeen a famous victory which sent us through to the Scottish League Cup final. In the previous 6 semi-finals between the two sides, Aberdeen have prevailed 4 times. Let's hope scenes like this will be seen again at the full-time whistle later today. Good morning. How you doing? A very warm welcome to the preview show here on Ali Beg ABTV. As you can see, I'm not in my studio. I'm through in Edinburgh. Today is a fairly quick show because I've got to jump on the train and make my way over to Hampden because we're working for North Sound Radio today. Please get in touch. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what you're thinking ahead of today's game. Shortly, I'm going to be speaking to lead singer of Lotus Crush and huge Aberdeen fan all the way from New Orleans, Terry McDermott, who also found fame on the American version of The Voice. And we'll be doing our usual bits and pieces in the show today. But if you can get in touch on YouTube, let me know how you're feeling. Now, I know that thousands of you are already on your way from Aberdeen. Many of you have travelled the length and breadth of the country to get to Hampden today. Please have a safe journey. Let's start today's show by predicting what I think will be the starting 11 today. And I have to be honest, I think Jim will go with the same team that started against St Johnstone last week. So I think he'll play, and I have to be honest, I think he must play a flat back 4 today because we all saw what happened at Ibrox a few weeks ago when he went with 3 across the back. So I expect Matt, Graham Shinney and Leighton Clarkson to play just in front of Hilber Ramadani. And then I think Duke will play just in behind Bojan Majowski. Now, a few of you have already got in touch to discuss the team news. John Bleasdale, for example, huge Aberdeen fan, on his way to Hampden. He thinks that Johnny Hayes might start today and that Matt Kennedy will go to the other side. Now, the reason that he's saying that is because he thinks that Hayden Coulson might need a little bit of protection when James Tavernier pushes forward. But as we know, James Tavernier potentially could be their weak link because he's not so strong at the back going the other way. So he thinks that Johnny will play on the left, Matt Kennedy will play on the right to sort of give that protection in front of Ross McCrory, and then Leighton Clarkson will play in the hole just behind Duke, and Bojan will get dropped down to the bench. So tell me what you think the team will be today. I have to be honest, I don't think he'll drop Bojan today. I think the goals will come. Eric Black has given an interview in the past couple of days where he also said the goals will come. We know he's low on confidence at the moment, but I just think he just needs one little spark and then I think he'll absolutely fly again. Let's wait and see what happens today. Let's see what the gaffer has said today ahead of the big game. So we've got great belief among the group. We have to be defensively organised. We've got to have a good structure to the team out of possession, but at the same time in possession. We have to be positive. We have to have a bit of courage to play when it's on to play. And we have to try and cause Rangers problems at the back as well, because we certainly did that in the league fixture recently. Here are your match stats. So Rangers are unbeaten in 13 meetings with Aberdeen, winning 9, including the last 3. Rangers are unbeaten in 8 matches overall, while we have only won 2 in 8. The Dons last won the League Cup semi-final meeting between the two sides, as I showed you earlier, with Lewis Ferguson scoring the only goal in October 2018. And this is a real bone of contention. Today's referee is alleged Rangers fan Nick Walsh. Make of that what you will. Okay, let's see if there's some of your comments coming in this morning. Let's see how we're all doing. Right. So let's get rid of that. Oh, plenty of you on this morning. How are you doing? Thank you for watching. Graham Park, DJ extraordinaire. It says, come on you Reds. Explore Bonnie Scotland. Good morning. I said, heed first. Come on you Reds. 100%. Straight in there. Sean Blues, it says, defence will be key for us today. I could not agree more. Derek Griffiths has said, good morning. Come on you Reds. Let's do this. Leaving in an hour to get to Hampden. Safe journeys, Derek. Seriously. John Bleasdale won the last 2 League Cup semi-finals against Rangers, so you never know. Couldn't agree more. Adam Carolyn has said, wish I could be more optimistic. Be more optimistic, Adam. You just never know, mate. It's a one-off game, a one-off occasion. You just don't know. Jude has says, we've got the ability to beat them. My concern is the attitude and the mentality, which I'll come on to shortly. Rob Clark. Good morning, Rob. Hi, Ali, from the Strathspey and Badenoch Supporters Club bus en route down the A9. Good morning to you all, guys. Have a fantastic trip today. Paul Donaldson has said, good morning, Ali. Hi, Paul. Feeling very nervous about today, but I think we can do it. We might end up going all the way to extra time or penalties. Yeah, I hope not. I've got to be at Edinburgh Airport tomorrow morning at 4:30. Let's hope there's no extra time and penalties today. Keep all your comments coming in. I'm particularly interested to know about the mentality and the attitude today, because we have to go into today's game believing, and Jim has got to instill in his players today that there is absolutely nothing to fear about playing against Rangers. Now, we saw in the last game at Pittodrie where we were able to get a foothold in that game after going behind, and we absolutely put our foot on their neck. If we are in a situation today where we're forced into changes, be it with injuries, knocks, whatever, what I hope today, if we're in the ascendancy, that Jim just goes like for like and does not take the foot off the gas. And whatever he must not do today, don't allow the boys to sit deep. And if we see that they're starting to sit deep, the instructions must be to push further up the park. Don't sit deep today. If we do, we're going to get punished big time. Right, let's welcome Terry McDermott. So Terry and I spoke a couple of days ago from his home in New Orleans about today's game. And this is basically what he's thinking 48 hours before the game. Terry McDermott. Good afternoon, fella. Lovely to see you as always. Thank you for jumping on. Okay, so we're a couple of days away from the semi-final. Where's your head at with the game at the moment?
I'm sure it's like most Aberdeen fans, we're hoping for the best, preparing for the worst. The game, every time a player's come out and spoken about the 3-2 defeat against Rangers, they've used words like devastated and gobsmacked, or how bad it was, and it really was just a massive kick in the teeth to lose the game against Rangers at that point, and that was Pittodrie. I think honestly, if had Shinnie not signed, I think I would be quietly expecting a notable defeat. Shinnie takes a lot of pressure, I think, off the back line, but able to be a good defensive link, and his hustle is going to allow Ramadani to be more of a player as well. Honestly, though, I mean, if we do win this, it's going to be a hell of a narrow thing. The only good thing is Rangers' defence is really not their strong point. Their centre halves have shown that they can be exposed. Do any of us really have massive hopes that we're going to put one over on them? I don't know. I'm really hoping that Duke is one of the different. I mean, he's an X factor player. He has the ability to do things that really causes problems for defenders. But that's provided we can get the ball to him, and that has not been our strong point this season. And that's one of the reasons I think Majowski has suffered. He's not become a bad player. I think there is a good player in there. We probably expect a little bit too much from him, but the service is not been nearly good enough, and our strength in midfield's been poorer. So maybe Shinnie unlocks a little bit of freedom for other players, but I mean, I'll say my heart says a 2-1 win. My head says maybe not.
You know me, mate. I don't like to put a dampener on things. I certainly don't. Always try and remain as positive as I can.
Yeah,
But when I read the quote attributed to Anthony Stewart, my heart just sank because why would you give them any more ammunition?
absolute lunacy, absolute lunacy. As I said to you briefly before we started filming, I think the reality is that that press cutting will be pinned in Morelos's locker, and before he starts, I mean, look at the recipe of timing. He's going to be going out of contract. He's looking for another club. You would imagine if he hasn't signed a contract at this point. And then Anthony Stewart, who, let's be honest, hasn't had the greatest seasons up to yet since he signed and became club captain or team captain. This is not the time to be giving them ammunition, to be putting clips on the wall, to be giving them something to focus on and get their teeth into, especially at Hampden, where we lost narrowly at Pittodrie. This is Hampden. It's going to be a full house. I mean, this is a pressure cooker. It's an Aberdeen Rangers game. Just close your mouth. Just close your mouth. Don't and do not get sucked in by Glasgow journalists that want that soundbite, that want to create pressure, and obviously, want to create drama before the game. And Anthony Stewart has walked into that bear trap, and now 100% Morelos is going to pick up that ball, and he is going to run straight at Stewart all day.
Trying to be more positive. There were aspects of the game at Pittodrie that hugely lifted my spirits. That I thought, if we play in a certain way, we can really get at this lot. And I think we proved for a long period in that game that we were the better side, that we were in the ascendancy until obviously the changes happened and we sat deep. If we don't fall into that trap, I think we've got half a chance. I've got to be honest.
I think one of I mean, I don't think you can overemphasize the difference that bringing in Graham Shinney makes. This is a player that not only is he had the experience of playing down in England, which certainly on first look it would appear that he's coming back as a more cultured player. I guess we'll find out. But I think most importantly is he has been in these finals. He has been in these semi-finals. He's been in this situation where there's been a lot of pressure, and you've been playing teams with arguably a stronger lineup, and you've been eking out wins, or you've been bringing out performances where you really were competing. You were at the races. His impact, I think, is absolutely vital. We've seen in the weeks leading up to this point that Connor Barron, I mean, that's a whole story in itself, but I mean, that Connor Barron has maybe drifted out. He's not nearly as influential as we would have hoped.
Yeah.
So the likes of Shinney, for example, bringing him in, he has the ability to be absolutely fundamentally instrumental in changing our fortune. Don't want to put too much pressure on his shoulders, but I mean, I don't think any Aberdeen fan would argue that we've had a successful link between our defence, which is clearly trying to play out from the back and making an absolute horse's arse of it, and a midfield where Ramadani is often exposed on his own because he just doesn't have the outball. He doesn't have the ability for someone to drop back and run. We seem very disjointed in that spot. Maybe Shinney brings that grit. Maybe he brings that hustle where he's going to chase after the ball a lot more and allows us the freedom. And the biggest thing is, if you have got characters like Morelos, who we know is always about 2 sentences away from a red card, maybe he gets in his head a little bit. Maybe he's one of these players that likes to do that. He likes to rough them up a bit. He likes to get in their head, and maybe that's the kind of thing we need to kind of level the playing field a bit here. I don't think, honestly, we should be terrified of Rangers. I've seen there's been teams that have had them on the wall. I mean, we've had them in a position where we're beating them, viably so. But we're also a house of cards. Don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, the sitting in for 20 minutes thing was just criminal. I mean, just invite.
I have to be honest. If we get our foot on their neck, I want us to squeeze. I don't want us to take it off, right?
Yeah. I think the likes of Duke, I mean, he's a young lad, but we've already seen that he has the pace and technical ability to really, really cause defenders problems, make them think twice about giving him an extra yard.
Yeah.
And the more we're going forward, the harder it is for Rangers to have us on the back foot. And that's, well, we've just seen it. If they put us on the back foot, then we're relying on our centre halves, which let's be honest, they haven't bathed themselves in glory. So yeah, it's going to be all about whether or not we can take the game to them, whether we can actually compete in midfield and maybe take a little bit of pressure off our centre halves, who I honestly think at this point probably don't have the confidence or mental fortitude to really be under the cosh for 25 minutes. So there's nothing to fear about Rangers. It's just whether or not we turn.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's all about us. I got to be honest. Were you watching?
I don't know yet, actually. A bunch of my Scottish mates here are all Celtic fans. So sometimes we like to, we watch the Aberdeen Celtic games together, and unfortunately, usually I'm the one that's drowning his sorrows. But when there's a game like this, there's a great Irish bar here called Finn McCool's, where, it's the centre of football in Louisiana. So we might end up there to watch the game. I'm sure the place will be packed out with some currant buns. And yeah, there's a lot of Scottish guys are Rangers supporters as well. So it would be very, very sweet if we managed to pull one over on them, and I could enjoy a pint and a wink with some of those blue noses.
Mate, lovely to see you as always.
Yep.
Thanks for jumping on. And we'll catch up again soon, eh?
Okay, mate. Cheers.
Thank you to Terry. It's fantastic to see so many of you on this morning. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I'd be absolutely thrilled if you wouldn't mind clicking that old subscribe button. We are edging ever closer to 1,900 subscribers. And then we're on our way to 2,000. Thank you. Right, let's get some more of your comments in before we finish off today. Alexander Wallace has said, would love Johnny Hayes to start to get us on the front foot. Colin W has said, hopefully being a cup tie, we will be more attack-minded at some point during the game. 100%. We have to be attack-minded today. George Duncan has said, it's Kent we need to watch. Kennedy playing closely on him down the right could help. Watching from my bed with shingles. Sorry to hear, George. Get better soon. Come on, lads. Heat first. 2-1 to the Dons. Sean Blues has said, don't forget the red cards, Ali. Smith's FM has said, think it's a given. We have to score, Miovski. 100%. The Mad Ferret has said, get into them. Come on, you Reds. Ian McLeod has said, good morning, Ian. Going to the game with the Lewis and Harris Dons, who I know travelled down last night. Agree with the lineup. Wonder if he will play Hayes or Ramirez, though. Hopefully, we get a good performance and result today. I got to be honest, I think Christian will be on the bench today. And he might come on and play a part. But I think with a player from what we understand is now back on his way to the MLS, potentially with this move to Columbus Crew, I'm not sure we could start Christian today. Where are we? Big Yin has said, got to be snapping into tackles and don't sit off them. There's no reason to fear them. They're really not that good. You're absolutely right, Big Yin. Frank Brennan has said, if we even think of sitting off them, never mind actually doing so, then they will destroy us from the get-go. So get out there and right in their faces from the starting whistle. I think Frank is not an Aberdeen fan, but Frank, I really appreciate you coming on and giving us your thoughts, 100%. Neely Boy has said, come on Aberdeen. Paul Donaldson has come back on and said, Terry is right. Morelos is very easily wound up. Remember Scott Brown winding him up all the game at Pittodrie around this time last year? Maybe Graham Shinney can do the same today. I want Graham, like what he was against St Johnstone, right in the face of the referee today. Calmly, collectively, so he doesn't get booked, but get in the face. Alexander Wallace has come back to say, fear nothing, get right at them and don't let up and we will win. I agree. This is what everybody thinks. Charlie Ross has come on. Good morning, Charlie. How you doing? Come on, you Reds. Stand free. We can do this. Let's be all over them from the front foot. Good morning to Burnley Till I Die. Burnley Till I Die. Good luck to the Dons today. Okay, so as soon as I'm done here, I'm literally jumping on a train at Edinburgh and heading over to Hampden because we have a very special show on North Sound 1 today. It's the big Sunday football show presented by Stephen Mill. Stevie Cowan will be in the studio and I'll be at Hampden. So I'll be bringing you the best pre-match reaction in the team news, half-time and full-time reports as well. And you have the usual banter with Stephen, great mixture of music and laughter and all that sort of stuff. So if you can listen in, we would be very grateful because I know that a lot of you can't get to the game today. So if you're at a loose end, please feel free to listen in. Frank Brennan has come back on and said, You have to score 2 because 1 is never enough. And where these 2 goals of yours are going to come from, goodness knows. And thank goodness I don't have to work it out. I think Bojan, I think he'll break his duck today. I've just got a feeling. And if Duke is right in amongst it, being busy, being strong, getting down the flanks, getting right at them, I think we could cause them no end of problems today. But at the back, we have to be 100% switched on today. And Anthony Stewart is going to have a game on his hands today because we all saw what he said. He got absolutely suckered in by the West Coast of Scotland media and he fell for it big time. And I'm glad Jim came out and corrected him on it and said it was not very wise, let's put it that way. And he used the term regrettable because if I was a Rangers player today, all I'm doing, like what Terry said, is sticking that quote up in his locker when he arrives at Hampden. So Anthony Stewart today has got to be at his very best. Okay, Scott W. has said, if we play the way we did for 60 minutes in December, we'll beat them. However, if Jim sits off them, we're done for. Agreed. Explore Bonnie Scotland. Shout out to my son Kenneth watching his first semi-final today. Good morning, Kenneth. I hope you have a memorable day today. And they go on to say Duke hat-trick today. Guys, we are all done. I'm sorry it was short and sweet, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to bring you more interviews that I was hoping for. But listen, I hope that hasn't spoiled your fun today. As I said earlier, if you're on your way to Hampden, have a safe journey. I'm going to be in the press box today. I'm hoping to we're going to get there early so that we can get to the more Aberdeen side. So if you're kicking about that area, come over and say hello. I'd love to meet you guys. And all that's left to say is the very best of luck to the Dons today. Just get in amongst them. Show no fear. Show no respect. It's a one-off game. Show them how good you are. That's all you've got to do. You can go toe-to-toe. You are as good, if not better, than this Rangers team. I'll be back for the review show tomorrow as I'm travelling back to my base in Germany/Austria tomorrow morning. So there will be a review show, which I hope to see you along for as well. Guys, have a brilliant day. Good luck, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care. Bye for now.